Warrington against Castleford, live and exclusive from Wilderspool Stadium tonight here on the Big League on Sky Sports. And Warrington this evening say farewell to one of their great servants, Greg Mackey, who plays his last match. He flies home tomorrow, and here he is with some of the young members of the Wolfpack Club here at Wilderspool. Karen Kaler presented Greg, the president of the Wolfpack, with that silver tankard with him to take home in appreciation for all his efforts, and I'm sure that the club will be giving him a tremendous send-off as well. He has been a wonderful servant to the game of rugby league in this country, and particularly this Warrington club. Greg Mackey takes his place in the Warrington side tonight, but on the substitutes bench. Let's confirm that fact for you now and give you the rest of the team lineups here tonight. First of all, the fullbacks, and it's Lee Penny and Jason Flowers. On the wings, Chris Eckersley grabbing his chance, and ever-present Chris Smith. Fijian Manoa Thompson, Warrington's latest import, and 18-year-old Jamie Coventry. In the centre, Chris Rudd back in favour, and Richard Goddard. And it's Andy Currier and Adrian Flynn. Stand-off, Yestin Harris, only 19, and Graham Steadman reaching the veteran stage nearly twice as old at 34. Scrum half, Mike Ford against his former club, and Tony Smith, England World Cup star. Up front, big Welshman, Mark Jones against big Englishman, Lee Crooks. On the other side of the front row, Dave King and Dean Sampson. In the middle, hookers, John Huff, one of the finds of Warrington's season, and Colin Maskill doing a great job for the Tigers. Second row, it's Paul Cullen and Lee Harland. And another youngster to come through Warrington's academy ranks is Ian Knott. He faces up to the Aussie Andrew Schick tonight. Loose forwards, Paul Sculthorpe, one of 8, aged 21 or younger on duty for Warrington, and Tawera Nikau for Castleford. Coaches, the Australian Brian Johnson, the Briton John Joyner, and they had to name 4 for the bench for Warrington. Greg Mackey is there in 14, Andy Bennett, Mark Hilton and Paul Barrow, their new signing yesterday from Swinton. And on the bench for Castleford, Gareth Stevens, Nathan Sykes, Stuart Flowers and Ian Smales. So here we go, they've waited for this all week, and off we go. Castleford kick off, and Warrington will run the ball back at them for the first tackle of the game. That was Ian Knott, their second row forward. This is the captain for the night, Paul Cullen, trying to desperately get up from underneath Lee Crooks, and here is Mark Jones. Great driving run from the Welshman. It took a good tackle from Maskill to keep him down on the floor. That's Dave King, who takes the ball up to the halfway line.
Good work from the Warrington forwards there. You can see they're getting over the advantage line. They really are fired up. They know that Castleford's defence has been all at sea over the last few games. They're putting it to the test early.
Mike Ford with the kick downfield, former Castleford man, of course. And all he could do was pick out Chris Smith. And Chris Smith with the run, tackled by Ford, the man who put the kick in with a bit of help from Chris Rudd. Step gets it away to Lee Harland. Maskill drills the ball into the ground. Manoa Thompson, that hit his hand. And Thompson picks it up, drifts behind his own try line, gets out of trouble, risky business with the pass to Penny, and good play again from Penny. He's in a rich vein of form, the Warrington fullback.
Well done by Manoa Thompson. Second effort there. A lot of wingers would have just died inside the field of play, kept it alive, but Lee Penny, as you've just mentioned there, Eddie, he's had a great season. Really has put a lot of strength, upper body strength, and he put it to good use then.
He has come back to his best, there's no doubt about that. That was Yestin Harris. Oh, well picked up that was by Sculthorpe. Brilliant. And lovely ball to Currier too. Currier stumbles, gets the pass away to Cullen, and Cullen takes on Flowers, beats him second time, gives it to Penny, and Penny is just held up short. But a sweeping move that was from Warrington. Ford the dummy half. Jones was the dummy runner. Harris with the crossfield kick. Big space out here for the winger Eckersley, and Eckersley scores. That's a super try. That's a tremendous try from Warrington, from one end of the field to the other, and his 4th try in his 5 appearances so far for Chris Eckersley.
Tremendous play by Warrington. This is where the break came. It's a nice long ball there. It went behind him, the loose forward Sculthorpe, but this kid is all class. The experience of Currier coming back on the inside, supported by Cullen. Great play, he did well to keep the ball alive. And the fullback gets tackled there. It was a great tackle by Richard Goddard, but once they swung the ball out, neat little kick over, beautiful kick out wide, and Eckersley, beautiful stuff.
6 foot tall, thought about stretching the arm out, thought better of it. Huff, then to Ford, switches the direction of the attack again.
Once again, Mike Ford looking for a runner on the inside. It wasn't there.
Harris stabs the ball through. It forces the fullback Flowers to pick it up, and look at the chase from Warrington.
Thompson and the prop forward Dave King, that shows you the enthusiasm. When you get a big prop forward joining in the chase, look at that, well played by the prop. Well, they say prop forwards often get on the blind side for the rest, but not that guy. The big Australian really did get off to a flying start.
So Steadman will drop out from underneath the post. They do have the wind at their backs, and that got good length, that drop out. But Lee Penny will immediately run it back at them, straight into the chest of Tawera Nikau. 8.5 minutes gone here at Wilderspool, as the second row forward, Ian Knott with that run. Now Ford, ball out wide to Dave King again. Dave King has played the last 5 matches. He's forced his way back into the side with runs like that. Here's Harris, the link, and he finds Chris Rudd. Rudd is tackled well by Adrian Flynn. Now Sculthorpe, tall, lanky 18-year-old Paul Sculthorpe. 53 metres made by Warrington. Huff to Ford, it bounces off a Castleford leg. Oh, it's trouble, and it's come up with Mike Ford. The kick came off a Warrington leg. John Joyner's face tells its own story. Bounced back off the foot of the post, and Mike Ford against his former club.
You make your own luck in this game, and it was a well-weighted kick. Came off the boot there of Sampson, and look how it just bounced so prettily there for the little halfback. But he's put under no pressure. This Castleford defence is all at sea again. There was nothing that Flowers could do about that. Tremendous break from the second row, Andrew Schick. Showed a lot of pace.
Crooks pops the ball up to Maskell, but he is grounded by those two, Ford and King, the little and large for Warrington. A dab through. Oh, mistake! Ball bounces free. And that's a drop out from under the post. I think Manoa Thompson got the first hand to that.
He's been deemed to have forced it. Well, he lost it there. And yes, oh no, perhaps he didn't force it correctly. That could have been a try to Tony Smith. Well, that's the reason why we have the in-goal touch.
Well, did he get down with pressure on it anyway, Tony Smith? This is
I think
critical
so.
decision.
Yes, he did. Now, Manoa Thompson didn't get downward pressure. He did, but not onto the ground. It was a knock back. That should have been a try for Cass. Well, Lady Luck shines on Warrington, and a minute later, Castleford, it deserts them.
Brian Johnson, the Warrington coach, a relieved man after that attack. And it all came about because Andrew Schick made a terrific break down the left-hand side. There he is again, supporting Tawera Nikau. Crowd screaming for a forward pass, the referee unimpressed. Here's Tony Smith, now Lee Crooks, gets the pass away to Flynn, he must be in, and Adrian Flynn scores. We could be in for a bag full of tries tonight. Adrian Flynn with the try. He scored his first try for Castleford against Warrington at Weldon Road in September. He's put them back in the hunt here.
Tremendous play. They took it from the blind side. Well run there by Tony Smith. Nice pass by the prop forward Lee Crooks. And you see how he just shimmied there. Adrian Flynn.
For the Tigers. But they've won only 4 times here at Wilderspool in 22 years. And at 10-0 down, it looked as though they were on their way to another defeat. But Lee Crooks has added the goal from the touchline, and Castleford are back in the hunt here.
Rounded for a try before Penny came into the scene.
Kick-off by the scoring side, Castleford, a shorter kick-off. Warrington come up with a mistake, but they get the feed at the scrum.
Well, this will be interesting. Knock on by Cass. He deemed that the ball had played the man from the Warrington side. Good refereeing there by John Connolly.
Yes, he went straight into the body of the Warrington man and then was knocked on by Castleford. That's why head and feet at the scrum went to Warrington, the non-scoring team, who were defending the kick-off from Castleford. Steve-O, is it a difficult thing to endure this kick-off by the scoring side, rather?
Well, I was just about to say that most coaches would elect for the long kick on downfield, but we saw Castleford go for the short one, perhaps trying to catch Warrington there, but I was just about to say that it's pretty negative when you're in your own quarter. Very few teams play attacking football.
But Harris is playing attacking football here, and that's scuffed ball, and they've replied. It's Ian Knott, I beg his pardon, Ian Knott, the try scorer. Second try of the season for him. And Ian Knott, well, it was awful defending by Castleford.
Well, it all came about by the knock-on by the Castleford side. Remember, they kicked off after the try, new rule, but good play by Easton Harris, but that was not great defence.
19-year-old Ian Knott is in the Lancashire Academy side to face Yorkshire next week at Lee. He played in the same fixture last season. Now then, Easton Harris has clipped this out in the full, trying to get length and depth on it.
That'll be a penalty from the halfway line. Bad mistake by Easton Harris there, creator of that try. But amazing the amount of space that the youngster Easton Harris creates for himself. He looks as though he's walking half the time. He's not, though.
18 minutes gone, Warrington ahead 14-6. Castleford in the danger zone with Sampson. They're falling off in the tacklers. Oh, he loses the ball. And it came back kindly for Paul Cullen.
Well, it's been deemed that Lee Penny has knocked the ball out. Good refereeing by John Connolly, and he was helped by the in-goal judge. That's the reason why they're there. The crowd are booing, but Lee Penny knows they got the left hand to it. You'll see it. There you go. Punched it out. John Connolly at a quick glance at the in-goal judge. Just saw his feet running back. Clearly punched out. Good refereeing. Good combination there by the officials. Doesn't matter how much the crowd boo. They keep their cool to these merry whistleblowers and the flag wavers, of course.
Yes, well spotted by the officials. Lee Crooks from bang in front. No problems for Crooks. 2 more points for Castleford. They're hanging on in there. He's just running away from the tackled player there. He joined the club from Doncaster in the summer, and he's done a super job for John Joyner, filling in for the injured Richard Russell. Tackler there is Richard Goddard on Jones. Now King again. More easy yards for King. He's got support either side. Penny is there, and Penny will score his 12th try of the season. Lee Penny, Warrington's leading scorer. A hat-trick against Leeds. 6 tries in 4 in November. 12 in all now.
Well, Dave King, what a beautiful run on the blind side. He must have dreamt as a kid he wanted to be a 3-quarter. Look at the step there. That was sheer class. The fullback Lee Penny, as all fullbacks should do, skirted down on the inside. But look at the determination. He looks to the wing, takes his time. Look at the step there. Knows the cover with Tony Smith has gone. The inside pass. They are running hot. Tremendous stuff. Did you see how they were close there? Very, very poor to fill in on the blind side. Nice little step, nice dummy. Oh, that is a great
run back now, though, by Knott. This is not a happy hunting ground for Castleford. As I said earlier, only 4 league wins here in 22 years. That was forward from King, and the referee has spotted it.
Well, he's having a whale of a game, but I don't think even an Australian had tried to get away with that one. Courier would have been about a yard in front. Now in Australia, that would have been given as a penalty. A deliberate forward pass like that would have deemed that Courier would have been offside. And I suppose it's correct in many ways. Nick out, a classy player, loves to run out wide, but they've just really closed him down.
That was better from Stevens. He found Tony Smith, and he's now got Nick out, who for the first time escaped the clutches. He dropped the ball, though. He claims that the ball was stolen from him, and after referee and touch judge have a look at each other, there is agreement.
Mike Ford's right hand dragging the ball away.
Very closely with his touch judges and in-goal judges. Mentioned the Warrington pack. They are hunting in 2s and 3s. So are the officials. Another great kick from Lee Crooks. Superb kick from Crooks. 2010. The Tigers not out of this. No. Half-time here at Warrington, and they have run in 4 tries from Eckersley, Ford, Knott and Penny. Justin Harris has kicked 2 goals. Flynn has scored the try for Castleford, and Lee Crooks has got 3 out of 3 with the boot. 20 points to 10. And Ian Knott takes the tackle 10 metres from the line. They've made 38 metres. Warrington. Ford dabs it through. Could it be offside against Sampson?
Be a knock on. I think it's deemed that Sampson went for the football, and he did, and he knocked on. It'll be head and feet to Warrington, so therefore they've got the opportunity to play out another 6. Well, 2 mistakes in less than 2 minutes. Talk about putting pressure upon yourself.
Ford gets possession from the scrum, finds Harris, he gives it to Courier, and Courier stands in the tackle and finds Harris again. He goes wide to Thompson. Thompson bounces off one, holds off the second, and gets the try. Manoa Thompson, his second try for the Fijian. He just bounced through the tacklers there, and that's the perfect start to the second half for Warrington.
Beautiful ball out wide. Once again, they allow Justin Harris to run around with Courier. Throws the dummy, but his strength is get the ball away. Misses a man out, there's Justin. Look at that. That is sheer strength. He cocked the gun, fired the bullet. Tremendous stuff. See how they fall for the run around. And once 2 men go on to Courier, they were going to be caught out wide, and there's nothing that Chris Smith could do about that. He should have gone a lot lower. This is the kick-off, and it was Chris Smith, I'm afraid, that made the bad mistake. He should have dropped on that football. They are keeping this ball alive. They're thoroughly enjoying themselves out there. Justin Harris. There's the centre, Chris Rudd. But what a great tackle from Sampson tonight. Oh, that's another bad mistake. Well,
Lee Harland couldn't take the ball in.
They really have lost their confidence and the plot. You could see that Harland was looking at the would-be tacklers. Heads are going down, I'm afraid, on this Castleford side. It has not been their best time. They really have gone through a bad passage of late.
And here now is Penny. Brooks forcing Penny back. So Werder Nick out gritting his teeth. Would not be brushed off. There's Sculthorpe. He so often tries to duck under the challenges. Paul Sculthorpe. John Hoff. Still Hoff. Tackled by Crooks. Here's Ford. Now Harris. Cullen. Penny. Try. 2 for Penny. 13 tries now this season for the Warrington fullback.
Work hard, drive into the middle, and then the link works. See how they use the dummy runner there. Beautiful play by Warrington. That is creative stuff. Hard work to get you into the position. The long link out wide, and look how Justin Harris uses the dummy. Cullen sends in the fullback. Oh, that is super play.
The elder is on. Stuart Flowers in 16. He's the elder brother of Jason, but he's by no means as experienced in the big league. And this is Tony Smith. And Tony Smith might get home and is just held up short. That's terrific defence again from Warrington. But it's exactly as you said, Steve-O. They're trying to post the tries.
Well, good thinking by the halfback. Remember, the new rule states that only the man playing the ball, the man that's dummy half, can do this. That is good thinking by Castleford, but it just did not get through the mass of players. But it was a great tackle by Lee Penny that saved the day. Nice little flick back on the inside by Gary Stevens, sent Tony Smith away.
Cullen grits the teeth. And he wasn't terribly happy with that tackle, Paul Cullen. Ford will hammer the ball downfield. And Stedman picks up.
This is a charge there. Deemed that Gary Stevens used the shoulder.
And Paul Cullen's just been penalised for the flop. That's why Castleford have the penalty.
He didn't take too kindly with a little halfback giving him a good wallop. The shoulder straight into him, and there he was very late.
John Hoff takes his place in the front row of the scrum. The referee has put the scrum down.
Forward pass. Well, that really is bad play. Schoolboy stuff, I'm afraid, that. Well, shouldn't that be a scrum down? He used the referee.
Super run from Sculthorpe.
Nice run by Sculthorpe, but he used the referee as a shield there.
Ball inside from Harris to Ian Knott. Castleford desperate to marshal their defences, trying to hold Warrington up. Hilton there with the run. Big strong run by another big strong forward. Off the dummy half. Ford switches the direction of play to King. Castleford, watch that one. 4 tackles gone. Hoff to Ford, who fancies a drop goal and gets the one. Mike Ford with the 1-pointer just increases the lead a little further.
The experience showing there on Mike Ford. Let's get out of here. Give it the 1 point.
Smith to Nicow. Good run from Nicow. First time he's broken the cover. No one there in support really, although Jamie Coventry was on his inside. Gareth Stevens to Tony Smith. And there's Crooks and Smith again. Lovely ball from Crooks, well held by Smith. Looking for support, it's with Stedman. Stedman, now Stevens again, and Smith, and Flowers, and out wide is the winger, Chris Smith. And at last, Castleford get over for another try. That's great play. I thought at one stage it was a little over-elaborate by Castleford, but they pushed the ball out wide, and Smith got over.
Lovely run from the loose forward to Ira Nicow, got them in this position, and Tony Smith, beautiful pass on the inside. Graham Stedman, his halfback partner, beautiful quick hands out wide, well played by Flowers, sends in the winger for a great try. Nicow, a great break, one of the few breaks he's had tonight, but see how he just handed off the hooker there. John Hoff, quick play the ball, in and out, the good run around. Superb play there by Lee Crooks. The combination there with Tony Smith and his halfback partner Graham Stedman. Support play beautiful there. Smith on the Flowers and Smith in for the try.
And then we're live here at Wilderspool on New Year's Day, 11:30 a.m. The match will kick off at noon. Will Wigan lift the trophy? That festive holiday. That is a lovely break from Stuart Flowers meanwhile. There's his brother Jason in the dummy half. Stevens to Smith, to Stedman, to Crooks. Good handling here from Castleford. Flynn keeps it alive.
Great cover defence there from Paul Sculthorpe. He tracked the man all across.
Lovely play from Tony Smith. That's the try. Oh, he's given a knock on. He has given the knock on and Tony Smith doesn't believe it.
Well, it was a nice kick through. Let's see. Picks the ball up okay.
Yes, he lost it.
But did he regain it before it hit the ground? It hits Penny's leg, I feel. There's Penny's leg go through. Yeah, it's deemed that the ball has been rolled forward. Well, what a time for Lady Luck to desert you. But Lee Penny's leg definitely got to the football. That probably dislodged it in the first instant.
And then Castleford were a bit eager to get into the tackling again and they were offside. That's why Warrington have the penalty.
Well, a word would have gone out by...
There's a little use of the elbow by Mr. Crooks on Mr. King.
Mr. King thought he'd have a little bit of a go.
And Lee Crooks says, what now?
Well, we said that this Castleford defence was getting a little bit fiery then, and that was bad from Crooks. That was use of the elbow. And King throws the football at Sampson. He's not the man that did it. And Lee Crooks is very fortunate. Now, John Connolly has not put him on report, but you could see clearly that the elbow was used as the big Australian prop forward was going down to ground.
I feel that Castleford are getting a little frustrated at the moment because the last 5 penalties have gone to Warrington.
Well, they were disappointed that Tony Smith's try was disallowed, but they really have fired up. They've been stoking up the boiler for the last 10 minutes. Plenty to come, I'm sure. Oh!
And they've lost the ball. Nick out picks up and off he goes. And he finds Tony Smith. And desperate defence now from Warrington. It was Chris Smith, not Tony Smith.
Well, John Connolly's got to keep a keen eye on this, and you could see that Warrington made no attempt to get back onside.
Penny with the use of the elbow.
Well, Penny, well, that's 2 headbutts Penny's put in. Here's the first one. He's giving him a facial. Then he adds a headbutt. Dear me.
And he's calling Paul Cullen, the captain, and Lee Crooks, the opposing captain. I wonder if he's going to put him on report. He needs the touch judge on if he does. Backs 2 to him. Cullen, good tackling there by Sykes. Here's Andy Bennett. Bennett, who's beefed up a bit, hasn't he? Played in the second row the last couple of times. No wonder he has put a lot of weight on. Little dink over the top. Danger. Oh, that's a super chase from Thompson. Nowhere for Jason Flowers to go.
Good stuff there. Chris Smith, the winger, just been thrown right into the dead in goal. The kick is only as good as the chase.
Chris Smith just couldn't get out of trouble, could he?
Well, he's had a fine game. Manoa Thompson scored a good try, used his weight to full advantage. But this is where Warrington have to look towards that experience now. People like Paul Cullen, Houston Harris, Mike Ford especially, just calm things down, use these big forwards.
Ford now, and he looks for the runner Sculthorpe. We're inside the last 10 minutes. Nick out is penalised. Was it for stealing the head guard?
Yep. You are not allowed to interfere with the head guard at any time.
And he wants the word with Nick Howe, who's on his way to the sin bin, for stealing the headgear.
Well, I have to sympathise with Tawera Nick Howe. He's stolen the headgear, but he can throw a few elbows. He can throw a little bit here, there and everywhere. Now, they said a few years ago you can't use the sin bin for foul play, but then last season we brought it in. That's something that Greg McCallum has to look at. Belter bloke, you're okay. Stay on the field. Take off the headgear. Take 10. Well, he's done for the night.
Well, he is, and it just pricks the Castleford balloon somewhat. And the applause in the background is because Greg Mackey comes on. An emotional moment for the little man. It's his farewell appearance, and he's got just short of 8 minutes in which to impose his authority on this match. He comes on for Mike Ford. And if Harris kicks this goal, well, maybe he will be able to enjoy the last 7.5 minutes or so of this game. The 2 points to really make it even worse for Castleford, who have lost Tawera Nick out for 10 minutes. So one goes home, Greg Mackey, and a new face comes into the fray, and there he is, Paul Barrow.
That's good work.
The famous Barrow clan, Steve-O.
Yeah, they've been around a while, haven't they? That's good work by the Warrington forwards. Oh, Mackey gets crunched.
Yes, by Flowers, it was perfectly legal. Oh, and he couldn't pick it up. The substitute, Ian Smales.
Well, it was a high tackle from Tony Smith. He really did give it to Greg Mackey. Oh, I know Mackey will have a few presents to take back to Australia, but I don't think he expected that one.
Just rubbing the back of his head too, he felt it, didn't he?
Yeah, there wasn't much of a ribbon attached to that.
Referee wants the scrum reform. Oh, and they've got one against the head, Castleford. I wonder whether that will be the last scrum that Mackey will feed in England, and it's gone against the head. Well, there's been a touch of drama in the last couple of minutes on the touchline. I noticed Tawera Nikau making his way into the dressing rooms, followed by a policeman. Bill Arthur, what's going on?
Well, it's an unfortunate end to the evening for Cass by the look of things. It all occurred when Dean Sampson came off. He was, I think, on the end of some abuse from the crowd and replied in kind. And a policeman standing nearby didn't like what he heard, had a word with Sampson, and in response to that, water was thrown from the Cass dugout. Now, I don't know where that came from, but the policeman seemed to think it came from the direction of Tawera Nikau, and he left the dugout accompanied by the policeman. Now, he is in the sin bin at the moment, Nikau. Whether he comes back remains to be seen, even though Cass have scored a late try from Andrew Schick, but they've got other problems off the pitch by the sound of things.
Thanks, Bill. Yes, Andrew Schick with his first try of the campaign for the Castleford club. Consolation, nothing more, on an awful night by the sound of things for Castleford.
Yeah, good run around with Tony Smith, and well supported by the second rower, Andrew Schick. He's shown some nice touches. But a neat little run around here with Tony Smith here. Runs around Stedman. They worked quite well in this second half. That was a well-worked try. Good set move there, and the second rower in for a try.
From Weldon Road and Castleford. And what a good kick that is. So late in the game from Lee Crooks. Well, he can hold his head high, there's no doubt about that. 31 points to 20. Apparently everything has now settled down in the dressing room area. Nikau and the police have had a good conflab. They've talked to each other, they've shook hands, and apparently they've all agreed that that might well be the end of the matter. That's good to hear, because Andrew Schick's try means that Castleford had the last word in this match, but they were overwhelmed by Yestin Harris and company, and it's shake hands and smiles all round now on the field. Warrington have won by 31 points to 20, and a night that Greg Mackey will remember. It's his last appearance in England, and we say farewell to him finally.
A win for Warrington by 31 points to 20. Tries 2 from Penny, Eckersley, Ford, Knott and Thompson. Flynn, Chris Smith and Schick with the tries for Castleford. 20-10 at half-time, 11 points in it in the end. And this was the scene here at Wilderspool just a few moments ago as the Warrington team said cheerio to Greg Mackey, doing the dying swan act by the looks of things, and Greg Mackey waving farewell to all the supporters here at Wilderspool. An emotional night then for Greg, and he's now talking live to Bill.
And we've had the farewell speech from Greg Mackey. It's quite a night, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. A bit emotional.
What about the game first?
Oh, well, it was just a great win, a great send-off by the boys. I mean, I played no part in it, except the drop ball that I can recall, and they really put it on in style, and we attacked their right side with great success.
You're leaving a side that's got bags of talent, aren't you?
Oh, certainly. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, but I reckon in the end they'll get it right, and they'll be right up there at the top.
Now, there was a chance maybe that your career might have continued in France, is that right?
Well, it was mentioned about it, and I rang them up, but it come to no avail. They went all French, and although I speak a little bit of French, they didn't see that as enough, and it looks like I'm still at home, and Sunday's the day.
You got fond memories of Warrington, of your career over here. What are the strongest memories you'll take home with you?
Oh, the Lancashire Cup, the Hull when I was the captain, and the whatever it was, Harry Sunderland winner, and then the Premiership run-in when we nearly won it, and of course even the Regal Trophy getting there. Keithley in the dying seconds. I remember coming up with an ankle tap that just about saved us, and Jonathan put off some magic. Some memories like that. Castleford in the Sky game a couple of years back, that was a beauty. And besides the rugby league, everyone in the town that's really helped me out.
And you're going home to resume your career with Telecom, are you?
Well, that's it at the moment. If I can pick up anything in rugby league, you know, I'll be grateful. But I've been away from the Australian team for so long, I just don't really know who knows me that well.
Well, you're going to have a farewell party tonight.
I'm going to have a few beers and, you know, we're off tomorrow to the airport, so I don't think I can get too blitzed.
OK, well, have a good try. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks very much. All right.
Great moment for Greg Mackey. And I will always remember the day he came with us to Headingley when Warrington were champions for 24 hours. And he watched then and had a smile on his face as Bradford took over at the top, and then 24 hours after that, Wigan, of course, won the championship. Great lad, great player. Well, the statistics from this match: 127 tackles Warrington made, 142 Castleford made. It was a fairly uneven first half, wasn't it? But it levelled itself up in the second half when Castleford had the sniff of a fight back. 18 handling errors, 18 penalties, and 12 scrums. And in terms of possession, Warrington had the ball 37 times, Castleford 32. Warrington held on for 14 sets, Castleford 15. Slightly higher average then for Castleford. And all those running metres at the bottom, in their average sets of 6, it was 36 metres made in 6 by Castleford, 37 by Warrington.